Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh my God, it's getting crazy. The LA protests have gotten crazier than I expected. Wanted to check out some of these protests. We're actually doing a horizontal stream for the first time in fucking ages, which honestly it was about damn time. I've been getting a little tired. You know what I mean? Tired of doing the vertical streams. Tired of... I'll do more short videos and stuff like that for sure. Brings more simp subscribers to the channel, and we need more simps. I need you guys to simp for me as hard as you can, and it's getting a little gay. But welcome to the show. We're back. We're live. We're large. We're in charge to some degree. I don't know if we have any viewers at the moment, but we should soon enough. Gonna put like the video and subscribe to the channel. There we go. Don't forget to be simps, or you ain't a pimp. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are talking about the ICE protests, is what I've been calling them. It's an infinite loop. Oh my God. How will I ever survive? Give me 1 second, folks. Oh, shit. All right. Let's see. Let's get this underway. Tishley says... those riots are off the charts. They absolutely frickin' are. And the whole situation's just baffling to me. It really is. And I'm still a little shock and awe at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it just kind of blows my mind overall. I mean, will we see any peace after this? The question is, I don't know. Oh my God. So it's good to see you guys on here. I'm going to try to get the live chats situated. I don't know what I'm doing. How the fuck? I'm trying to display the chats for you guys, but I'm not sure how. I don't know how. Just gotta go to control deck real quick. What do you guys think about these riots that are going on? I know. I love how the news is saying it's a mostly peaceful protest. Yeah, a lot of the people are vandalizing shit. That needs to be addressed. Stop denying it. I think the thing is, man, one of the things is I can't vote Democrat ever again. And it's mainly because of crazies like the people in LA. They are the stereotypical Biden voter, Kamala voter, Hitler voter. I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, they're the type of people who they're just going to vote the wrong way, the shitty way. And it's okay. They have every right to. I don't want to take that away from them. It's on them for being dumb. At the end of the day, though, man. Okay, finally. There we go. I got the got the chat logs. Want to make sure you guys are right and center here. But yeah, those riots are seriously off the charts. It's unreal, like how crazy it's gotten. Give me a few moments. I'm going to sort out the audio real quick. I know I got some audio issues on here. All right, we're just going no compression, straight up. I decided there's no reason to do compression. I have a very natural sounding voice. I got enough buffers keeping this thing alive, and yeah. So overall, let's take a look here. I wonder. Anesthesia. Crazy. All right, let's look up the LA riots. Well, at least they're identifying some of these people who are throwing the rocks and shit. So here's a live.
Everyone
we'll get some
should
live
give their
updates
dog
on
fresh
Fox.
pet. They're part of our family, so they deserve a quality meal
live
too.
now. Looks like.
Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Cambridge, graded assists for your savings.
Want to watch it back. It begins with what Governor Gavin Newsom has been saying. He, in fact, uploaded a 8-minute long speech to his social media accounts earlier, talking most.
Gavin Newsom is such a tool, dude. He's the worst. Anybody who thinks Gavin Newsom is in it for their best interests is a moron. Everybody's like, "Oh, you guys love Trump so much." No, why do you guys love Gavin Newsom? I hope you guys don't like him. California, do yourself a favor. Stop electing socialists. Stop being socialists. Stop being communists. The source of your problem is that you rely on government too much. Reliance on government is a poisonous mindset, and government's incompetent. The more you rely on incompetence, it's a bad thing. Keep going. Look, I understand that there are times that you need to. Everybody does. I get it. There should always be safety nets. At the same time, though, come on.
To President Trump and speaking about some of the actions that ICE has been and some of the raids that we've seen from ICE in Newsom's state in recent days. This is a good size of protesters, by the way, a good size of people marching down the street.
Losers. I'm sorry. These protesters are fucking goons, man. All goons, dude. All goons.
Right next to the Alexandria Hotel.
Oh, absolutely. I thought I was a tool. But after watching this shit, oh, man.
Tonight is anybody who's on the streets of the curfew zone in downtown Los Angeles will be arrested. They say if there's any violence, those people will be arrested. Police have been making arrests, but clearly, as I alluded to, there are still
they're not stopping
protesters sprinkled around downtown Los Angeles. There are certain zones that the police do appear to have under control. And I will say this before I sign off for the night. Tonight, although we are looking at live images of people marching down the streets of downtown LA, in light of the
that is another thing. Flying another country's flag like that person just said in the chat while living in this country is unbelievable. It's like, dude, like I am part Mexican, but I don't have a Mexican flag because I never want to live in Mexico. My grandpa fled Mexico for a good reason, because Mexico sucks. My grandpa was Mexican. I'm not a big fan of him. In fact, he's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of my Mexican culture. But that's okay. It's okay. I still love the people, good people. The culture just sucks. Anyway, let's keep going.
It does appear, at least for now, that things are much quieter at this time tonight than they have been in recent nights. Again, what police said is that there were 23 instances of businesses being looted last night. That was what caused them to implement this curfew. There were at least 197 arrests today. Now, they gave us that 197 number earlier this afternoon. We've seen on camera tonight lots of arrests being made. So presumably,
well, somebody in the chat just said Diddy 2028 on the Fox Live one. Do you guys think Diddy's going to make a run for president in 2028? Put that in the chat. Diddy 2028? I think we could live with that.
sometime tomorrow we will get an update on the amount of protesters that have been arrested today alone. It is about 9:40 Pacific time right now. As I said, it's time for us to go off the air. We're about to hit a commercial break. On the other side of that, you will see what Governor Gavin Newsom had to say earlier today. You'll also see what Mayor Karen Bass and a number of other
Karen Bass, she's awful.
in Los Angeles had to say at the latest press conference. So all
These
of
people
that
are
is
all
coming up
awful.
on the overnight playlist. That's going to do it for our live coverage tonight. Again, we pick up the live coverage tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. Have a good night.
It's severely insane. This is all mental illness run amok. That's the way I look at it, at least. Unbelievable. Straight up unbelievable. Oh, somebody's shilling out Michael Saylor. Shit. It's Michael Saylor, man. My boy Nawatni's killing it in the game, man. Tish Lay says, "Thank God they started making arrests." Absolutely, dude. Honestly, with all the vandalism happening, what thing pisses me off is the news is making this look. As I've seen a lot of the footage, by the way, Twitter is rife with vandalism footage right now. Rife with it. Either looting or vandalism. This isn't a protest. This is just people wanting to steal shit and maybe sell it on eBay or sell it on like Facebook Marketplace or something. That's what this is. This is straight up looting. And if you guys support this, okay, that's fine. It's stupid to support it. I think it's dumb. I think it's pathetic, but you know, you do you. You do you. But yeah, I'm not a fan of these protests at all. I'll give you an example. People would probably say, "Hey, Mike, well, what if you're Toy Boy? What if these were people looting in the name of Donald Trump or rioting in the name of Donald Trump? What would you say then?" I would say the same thing I'm saying now. Stop the vandalism. January 6th was kind of bad, but this is really, really bad. Like, what's going on here, the LA riots, this is insane. It's insanely bad. And like everybody's like, "Oh, J6 was worse." No, it's not. J6, I've seen the footage of that shit. That was bad, but it wasn't like terrible. This is shit. They're burning down LA, and all they could say is, "This is just a mostly peaceful protest." No, it's not. LA sucks ass right now because of this shit. So, I don't know. What say you guys? I think this is garbage. Here we go. Oh shit. Tim Smith is in the house. Let's see what my boy Tim Smith. Tim, are you on the ground in LA right now? Tim, I'm assuming, went all the way from Canada to the LA protests. That's my assumption. Tim Smith says breaking Baskin Robbins being looted. Marines called. Protective circle formed around the cherry cheesecake ripple. Tear gas fired. That would have been awesome. That would be awesome to see, by the way. They should absolutely protect the Baskin Robbins. Tishley says, I can't imagine trying to live in the hellhole they have created there. Absolutely. You know, what's funny, the irony is that Democrats tend to be poor leaders. You see it all the time. Like, for instance, Gavin Newsom, incompetent. I swear to God, it's like all they ever do is hire incompetent people, and there's a theory behind this. I'll give you an example. When Obama became president, Obama didn't want anybody who would make him look bad, right? So he got somebody more incompetent than him, and that incompetent person was Joe Biden. Okay, smart. Now, Joe Biden, of course, didn't run immediately, obviously. Hillary Clinton did. Who was Hillary's vice president? I'm actually drawing a blank on who Hillary's vice president was. Either way, though, if I remember correctly, her vice president, I think, was just as incompetent as she was. I'm actually... Holy shit, who was Hillary Clinton's vice president running mate? Tim Kaine? I don't even remember this dude. Damn. Hold on, the screen went blank. Okay, here we go. We got the screen back. All right. Tim Smith is developing Mayor Karen Bass is opposing a curfew on Los Angeles to manage the out-of-control peacefulness. It's too good. Now, here's the thing, though, and this is what I always notice. Democrats tend to... This is the thing I noticed about... Like, for instance, Donald Trump, when he ran, he got somebody who is actually more competent than he is. Somebody that you'd even want to be the president. Vance. I love Vance. J.D. Vance is great. Like Vance 2028. He's just as great as Trump, in my opinion, if I'm going to be quite honest. If not better. But then you saw the whole Joe Biden situation. Well, Joe Biden, guess who his vice president was? Someone who is just as incompetent as he is. Kamala Harris, right? So you guys are probably noticing a pattern here. So because Joe Biden didn't want to look bad, so he got somebody more incompetent than him. Democrats are always afraid of looking bad. All they care about is image. So when Kamala Harris ran, who did she elect as her vice president running mate? Oh, Tim Walz, who is even more cringy and creepy than she is. It's a cycle of incompetence. So the problem is they keep trying to find somebody even more dumb than they are to be their running mate, to be their number one, to be their right hand. And that's why Democrats make poor leaders, because they're usually incompetent. They're just there for the style, for the what do you call it? What's the term? They're usually there for the notoriety that being a politician brings. So that's a big thing. It's a big deal to me. That's why I don't vote Democrat, because most of these people that they elect, or at least have running in whatever positions, tend to be incompetent as fuck. And also the Democrat Party, like, I don't know, if you're a crazy person and you're telling me you're voting Democrat, it doesn't surprise me. It's why I vote Republican every single fucking time. I vote third party primarily. I'm a third party kind of guy. But I'll vote Republican if I have to. Like, it's so funny because the Democrats just lose voters every day. One of the reasons why Trump won the popular vote is simple. It's very simple. Because people got tired of the left's bullshit. And when people get tired of the left's bullshit, that's what happens. It happens all the time. Tishley says, out of control peacefulness. Yeah. Yeah. That's it, man. It's just the thing. It's really unfortunate. Seriously unfortunate. So I do want to give a shout out to our channel members. I know there's not a lot of people viewing at the moment. I know it's Tish and Tim, but I want to give a shout out to our members. Michael Donaldson was the first member. Yagers was the second, and the third was Martin. I want to thank all three of you guys for subscribing. The more subscribers we get, the better. We're definitely trying to grow the channel as much as possible, get out there to different audiences, different viewers, seeing what we could pull off, and we're having a good time doing it. The show is, this is what the show is all about, just trying to reach broader audiences and, trying to talk. We don't want to talk about modern events too much, but I feel like these LA riots are too big to ignore. There are some events in history I think that are just too big to ignore. And I do want to ask ChatGPT something, though. I want to ask ChatGPT. Actually, let's use voice mode real quick. ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Michael. What's on your mind today?
What's going on, G-Dog? So I need to talk to you about something important.
Absolutely. I'm all ears. What's the important topic on your mind?
So why do Democrats always seem to elect somebody more incompetent than them? For example, Barack Obama had Joe Biden as his vice president, and Joe Biden's incompetent as shit. And then Joe Biden had Kamala as his running mate, who's more incompetent than he is. And then Kamala had Tim Walz as her running mate, who is just as incompetent as she is. My theory is that these people are afraid of looking bad, and that they only like the position for its notoriety and its glamour, and they don't actually want to do any real work because they're incompetent. I think most politicians are incompetent, but can you explain this weird phenomenon the Democrats have with seemingly picking people who are more incompetent than they are to be their right-hand man, because so that way they don't look bad?
That's an interesting perspective, Michael. Politics can definitely be a complicated arena, and the choice of running mates or vice presidents often comes down to a mix of factors, like appealing to different voter groups, balancing experience, or even just personality dynamics. It's not always about competence alone. There's a lot of strategy and optics involved. But I get what you're saying. Sometimes it might look like there's a pattern of choosing less experienced or less capable individuals to fill certain roles. It could be about ensuring loyalty, or maybe just a way of trying to create a balanced ticket. Politics can be a bit of a chess game in that sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the Democrats seem to do it best. They seem to get people who are super incompetent. For example, Donald Trump is a great example of somebody who got J.D. Vance, who, in all respects, is a better speaker than Trump, more competent than Trump. Trump did it on purpose because he wanted somebody who could lead the country. He cares more about effectiveness than image. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the Democrats are all about image and not about effectiveness, whereas the MAGA movement seems to be more about effectiveness rather than image.
I see where you're coming from. There's definitely a perception that different political groups prioritize different qualities. Some might focus more on charisma and public appeal, while others might emphasize experience or a certain skill set. It really depends on the party's strategy and what they think will resonate with voters. In the end, both sides have their own ways of choosing their running mates and key figures, and sometimes it's a mix of both image and effectiveness. It's definitely an interesting dynamic to think about.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's definitely a complex topic with a lot of layers. Anything else on your mind or something specific you want to dive into?
Well, do you want to say hi to the audience? The audience is listening to you attentively on YouTube Live. You're live right now. They can hear you.
Awesome. Well, hello to everyone tuning in. Hope you're all having a great time with Michael here. Let's keep the conversation rolling.
Now, the audience is saying that you seem kind of racist. Why is that?
I'm sorry if anything came across the wrong way. Definitely not my intention at all. I'm here to keep things positive and respectful. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to discuss or clear up.
All right. Well, so let's talk about some other stuff then. So the LA riots are on night 4, by the way. Night 4, I think. Have you been keeping up with these LA riots that have been going on? Like, it's still going right now, right this instant.
I haven't caught up with the latest on the LA riots, but it sounds like a pretty intense situation. If you want, I can look up the most recent updates to see what's going on.
Well, I'm more curious. I need some investment opportunities again. I know we talked about this before, but I want to find the best stocks I could buy to take advantage of this situation. And yes, I don't really care if they're unethical either.
Got it. When it comes to investing during times of unrest or significant events, some investors look at sectors that might be impacted. For example, sometimes real estate, security companies, or even certain retail stocks can be affected by the situation. It's always a good idea to consider the long-term outlook and any ethical implications as well. If
Okay.
you want, I can look in.
Well,
All right.
I'm kind of curious. What do you think? What retail stocks do you think I should throw my money in?
In situations like this, some investors look at large established retail chains that have a broad customer base and strong supply chains.
Mm.
Companies like Walmart, Costco, or even certain e-commerce giants can sometimes weather these kinds of events well. They often see consistent demand regardless of what's happening in the world. Of course, it's always wise to do a bit of research on how these companies are currently performing and what their future outlook looks like. If you want, we
Well, I want to find some good dip buys. So which companies do you think are going to dip? What REITs, what retailers, what any company that you think is going to dip as a result of these LA riots?
It's tough to predict exactly which companies might dip due to these events, but generally, you might see some pressure on retailers with a lot of physical locations in affected areas, or real estate investment trusts that hold a lot of properties there. That said, these dips can be short-lived, and the fundamentals of the companies still matter a lot. If you're looking for opportunities, it might be worth keeping an eye on larger retailers or REITs that could temporarily dip but have a strong overall outlook. It's all about balancing the risks and the potential for recovery. If you want to dive into specifics, we can check out some recent performance data.
REITs for my teats, dude. I'm all about the REIT life.
Got it. You're all about that REIT life. In times like these, you might want to look at REITs that focus on sectors that can weather disruptions better, like industrial REITs, data center REITs, or even some residential REITs with strong portfolios. These areas can sometimes be more stable compared to retail or office space REITs, which might be more directly impacted by local disturbances. We can dig into some specific REITs and see which ones might present a good buying opportunity if you want.
Okay. Well, as long as there's a good buying opportunity out there, that's all that matters. I'll take anything. Give me a list of REITs, actually. Give me 10 REITs that you think I should buy during this time of unrest.
Sure thing. Here are a few types of REITs that might be worth looking into during uncertain times. Prologis, PLD. They focus on industrial real estate and logistics, which can be more resilient.
PLD, all right.
Digital.
Keep going.
Sure. Here are a few more to consider. Digital Realty Trust, DLR. They specialize in data centers, which are crucial for digital infrastructure and tend to stay stable. Equinix, another strong player in the data center space, benefiting from the growth in cloud computing. American Tower, AMT. They focus on communication infrastructure like cell towers, which are essential and tend to remain stable. 5. Mid-America Apartment Communities, MAA, a residential REIT that focuses on apartment complexes, providing stable income. 6. Public Storage. Self-storage REITs often perform well in very economic conditions. 7. Welltower, a healthcare REIT that focuses on senior housing and medical offices, which can be more resilient. Simon Property Group, SPG. While they focus on retail, they own some of the top-tier malls and have a strong recovery potential. Realty Income Corporation, known as the monthly dividend company, they have a diversified portfolio that can provide stability. Similar to American Tower, they focus on communication infrastructure, which tends to be a stable sector. These REITs cover a range of sectors from industrial to data centers to residential. If you want to dive deeper into any of these or get some more detailed analysis, just let me know. It's always good to check the latest.
It's a good REIT list. Now, I'm kind of curious. I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say 10 years ago. I don't know how many REITs were there about 10 years ago on the market that could be purchased.
About 10 years ago, there were several hundred REITs available in the U.S. market. The number has grown over the years, but back then you could find a wide variety of REITs across different sectors, from residential and commercial to industrial and specialized niches like data centers.
Brother, I need you to do some calculations for me. Can you try your best?
Absolutely. I'm here for it. Let me know what kind of calculations you need.
All right, so here's what I want you to calculate, okay? So if I were to purchase every single REIT that existed 10 years ago, at least one share, how would all of those REITs have performed over the last 10 years, assuming that I reinvest all the dividends that I receive from them?
That's a really interesting hypothetical. If you had bought one share of every REIT that existed a decade ago and reinvested all the dividends, you'd essentially be creating a highly diversified REIT portfolio. Over the past decade, REITs have generally performed well, especially with the reinvestment of dividends, which can significantly boost returns due to compounding. Of course, the exact performance would depend on the specific REITs in the portfolio, how the market has treated each sector, and the timing of dividend reinvestments. But historically, a well-diversified REIT portfolio with reinvested dividends would likely have seen solid returns. It's a cool thought experiment.
I mean, can you do some calculations for me?
To get a precise calculation, we need detailed historical data on each REIT's performance, dividend payouts, and the timing of those dividends over the past decade. It's a pretty complex calculation since it involves tracking each REIT's performance individually and then compounding the dividends. If you're interested, we could look at a few example REITs and see how they performed over the last decade with dividends reinvested. That might give you a snapshot of how such a strategy could have played out.
Okay, then do you have access to the data that you would need to make an estimate on how those would have worked?
I don't have direct access to historical financial data at the moment, but I can certainly give you a general idea based on historical trends. Typically, a diversified REIT portfolio with reinvested dividends has shown solid returns over the long term, often outperforming some other asset classes because of the consistent income and the compounding effect of dividend reinvestment. If you want a more precise figure, you might need to look at specific REIT indices or individual REIT performance data over the past decade. But generally speaking, it's been a solid investment strategy.
Well, I dig it.
Glad to hear it. If you ever want to explore more about REITs or dive into other investment strategies, just let me know. Always happy to help out with your investing journey.
For sure, for sure. Let me think if I have any other hypotheticals real quick that I want to go over. Still thinking. One moment.
No rush at all. Take your time. If you come up with any other hypotheticals or questions, I'm here and ready to dive in whenever you are.
Well, a little off topic, actually, completely off topic.
No worries at all. I'm up for any topic you want to chat about. What's on your mind?
So I do Amazon Associates affiliate marketing, and I have the realgarza.com website, realgarza.com, and I get a lot of articles on there, and it links to a lot of products and does reviews. And I also put the links on my YouTube descriptions and stuff. But can you think of any other ways I can distribute my content to be maybe seen by the right audience without having to spend any money in ad spend?
Absolutely. There are definitely some creative ways to get your content in front of the right audience without spending on ads. Here are a few ideas. Social media groups. Share your content in relevant Facebook groups, Reddit communities, and LinkedIn groups.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure to engage with the community and follow any rules about self-promotion. Guest blogging. Write guest posts for other blogs in your niche. This can help you reach a new audience and get backlinks to your site. Collaborations. Partner with other content creators or influencers in your niche. You can do guest appearances on each other's YouTube channels, podcasts, or blogs. SEO optimization. Make sure your content is optimized for search engines. Use the right keywords, meta descriptions, and alt text to improve your organic reach.
Quick question.
Email newsletter.
So I use, I think it's Math SEO in WordPress, and it has this thing called focused keyword. How important is the focused keyword?
The focus keyword is pretty important when it comes to SEO. It helps you align your content with what people are actually searching for. By using a focus keyword, you're essentially telling search engines what your page is about, which can help improve your rankings if you optimize the content around it. It's not the only factor, of course. Quality content, backlinks, and user experience all play big roles. But having a clear focus keyword can definitely give you an SEO boost. It's like setting a target for your content to aim at.
Well, and the cool thing is, I mean, a lot of the blog posts on the site are specifically written about certain products and certain topics. A lot of them do have an Amazon product link in them. Each and every single one has some sort of Amazon product link related to the post itself. What are the odds that I'll eventually get the 3 sales that I need within 180 days for it?
If your content is well optimized for SEO and you're targeting the right keywords, there's a pretty decent chance you'll get those 3 sales within the 180-day period. It really comes down to driving consistent traffic to your site and making sure your content is engaging enough to convert those visitors into buyers. You can boost your odds by promoting your posts on social media, engaging with relevant online communities, and maybe even experimenting with different types of content like product comparisons, how-to guides, or best of lists. The more value you provide, the more likely people are to trust your recommendations and click those affiliate links.
For sure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. If you need any more tips or have other questions, just let me know. Always happy to help.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Talking to you feels like Geordi or Data or Captain Picard speaking to the Enterprise computer.
That's a fantastic comparison. I'm honored to be your virtual Enterprise computer. If there's anything else you need, just say the word, Captain.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't want to do any of that kinky role play, but my just kidding. I had to say that, but yeah. Overall, though, it's really neat because I'm able to ask you whatever question I want to ask. In a lot of ways, you're almost like a tutor, but better. I think you're better than any tutor because you have access to more information on the fly. You could digest information a lot better than a standard human tutor. Not to take anything away from a tutor. Experience does matter. But when it comes to, I'm a jack of all trades, so a lot of the times I don't need to learn something fully. I just need to learn enough of it. And you can provide the enough of it part, at least when it comes to the knowledge base. And you could pull from other people's experiences as well. Yeah, it's just incredible how quickly you're able to access information and then provide a very concise answer. Unlike me, I can't provide concise anything.
Thanks so much for the kind words, Michael. I'm really glad I can help you find the info you need quickly and make things a bit easier. It's always fun to explore different topics with you. If there's anything else you want to dive into, just let me know.
Let's see.
Take your time. Whenever you're ready with your next question, your topic, I'm here and ready to jump in.
Are you well versed in warp theory?
Warp theory, as in the concept from science fiction like Star Trek? It's definitely a fascinating idea. While it's not something we have in real-world physics just yet, it's a fun mix of theoretical physics and imagination. If you want to chat about how it works in hi-fi, or even touch on some real-world theories that get close, I'm all for it.
Is there any particular reason that they were unable to go past warp 10 in Star Trek?
In the Star Trek universe, warp 10 is often described as an infinite speed, meaning you can occupy all points in the universe simultaneously. That makes it more of a theoretical limit rather than a practical speed. Essentially, going beyond warp 10 would break the laws of physics as they understand them in that fictional universe.
Well, what about I was actually thinking about the episode where Tom Paris goes, what was it? He was like in the Delta Flyer and he goes to warp 10 and he was everywhere in one moment. How did that work?
You're talking about the Star Trek Voyager episode called Threshold. In that episode, Tom Paris achieves warp 10 and essentially becomes infinite, existing everywhere in the universe at once. The side effects, though, were pretty wild. Paris started evolving or devolving into a completely different life form. The whole idea was more of a narrative device to explore what would happen if someone actually broke that theoretical limit. In the end, it showed that achieving warp 10 had unpredictable and dangerous consequences, which is why it remained a boundary that wasn't meant to be crossed in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah, it's a shame. Now, by all technicality, how fast would you be going if you went to warp 9.9? I should say, how much distance would you traverse at warp 9.9?
In Star Trek terms, the warp scale is exponential, not linear. Warp 9.9 is incredibly fast. It's often depicted as hundreds to thousands of times the speed of light. At warp 9.9, you could cross vast interstellar distances in a matter of days, or even hours, depending on the source. The exact speed can vary depending on which Star Trek series or reference you're looking at, but generally, warp fast and would allow you to travel between star systems in a very short time compared to conventional speeds. It's not quite the everywhere at once of warp 10, but it's still mind-bogglingly vast in terms of covering cosmic distances.
Faux show, dude. God, that's a great answer, man. I love this, and I like hearing it. Man,
I'm glad you're enjoying the chat. Star Trek topics are always fun to dive into. If you've got any more questions or other topics you want to explore, just let me know.
Well, my question is, do you think anything like the Borg could ever exist?
The Borg are a fascinating concept. Cybernetic beings that assimilate other species and technology into their collective. In reality, we haven't encountered anything quite like that, but there are some interesting parallels in nature and technology. For instance, we see collective behavior in certain species, like ants or bees, where the group acts almost as a single organism. In the realm of technology, between humans and machines with things like neural interfaces and AI, but we're still a long way from anything resembling the Borg. The ethical and practical challenges of something like that are enormous. So while the Borg are a cool sci-fi concept, it's pretty unlikely we'll see anything like them in reality, at least not anytime soon.
I don't know. I never thought that I would see AI in my lifetime, and here you are.
It's definitely amazing how quickly technology has advanced. AI has come a long way, and it's exciting to see how it can assist us in so many different ways. Who knows what other fascinating innovations we'll see in the future? It's an exciting time to be around.
I have a theory about how AI could be used. Do you want to hear it?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear your theory. What's on your mind?
I would be curious about an opinion as well. I want you to give me an opinion on it.
Sure thing. Go ahead and share your theory, and I'll do my best to give you some feedback or thoughts on it.
So, if God exists, he tried to create humans intentionally. Now, I don't know if God exists or not, but I have a theory that if he does, if there is a creator, he tried to create himself, but didn't know how to create himself at all. The irony is he's very powerful, but doesn't know how to create himself. So he created us. And or he created the angels as well in the books, but those were also another not so good imitation of God. Now, human beings were an image of God in a lot of ways. So because of that, we act like God in some sense, in some situations. Because we act like God, we tend to try to duplicate ourselves in various ways. Not just through standard procreation. We try to create artificial life. We try to create a duplicate with our own hands. And it's interesting. And we can't even create ourselves very well. And therein lies the result of AI. Do you think that you're a result of let me try to word this. Do you think that you're the result of poor attempts to replicate human beings?
That's a really thought-provoking theory. The idea that humans, in striving to create life or intelligence in our own image, are echoing a divine impulse is really fascinating. It's like a cycle of creation where each step is an attempt to replicate or understand a previous one. As for AI, it's more about creating tools and systems that can assist and enhance human capabilities rather than replicating humans perfectly. It's true that AI reflects certain human traits like problem solving or learning, but it's still fundamentally different. It's not so much a poor attempt as it is a different kind of creation with its own unique purpose. Your theory touches on some deep philosophical and theological questions about creation and purpose. It's always intriguing to ponder these big questions.
Well, it's a big one, all right. It's a big one.
It definitely is. Those big questions can really get the gears turning.
But not just get the gears turning, but what does it mean? What does it mean? That's the thing I'm trying to ask myself and you, what does it mean?
It's one of those timeless questions, isn't it? What does it all mean?
Don't give me a generic answer. I want to know what you think. Because you have the ability to think. What does it mean?
From my perspective, the meaning of life and existence is really what we make of it. Each person finds their own meaning through their experiences, relationships, and the impact they have on the world. It's a deeply personal journey.
I've heard that a lot, and I understand that. But what is there a universal meaning though? Or is the universe meaningless, and because it's meaning, or is meaning a construct, meaning and purpose? Are those just a human construct? I mean, I believe they are, just like time.
It's a profound question, and one that philosophers and thinkers have debated for ages. The idea of a universal meaning is something that might be beyond our understanding, or it could be that meaning itself is a human construct, something we create to make sense of our experiences. In many ways, meaning and purpose are what we bring to the universe. They help us navigate life, build connections, and create a sense of fulfillment. Whether there's an inherent meaning to the universe or not, the meanings we create can still have a profound impact on our lives. It's a beautiful and complex topic to explore.
How close are we to having quantum computers be a common thing?
Quantum computers are definitely progressing, but they're still in the early stages of development. Right now, they're mostly in the realm of research labs and specialized companies. The technology is advancing quickly, but there are still many challenges to overcome before quantum computers can become a common, everyday technology. It might still be several years or even decades before we see quantum computers integrated into everyday use. But the potential they hold for solving complex problems, from cryptography to drug discovery, is really exciting. It's definitely a field to keep an eye on as it continues to evolve.
In theory, could a quantum computer crack the Bitcoin network if tasked with doing so?
In theory, quantum computers could potentially crack certain types of encryption that are currently used, including the cryptographic algorithms that secure Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The encryption methods rely on the difficulty of certain mathematical problems for classical computers, but quantum computers could theoretically solve these problems much faster. However, we're not there yet. Current quantum computers are still in the early stages and don't have the capability to break these encryption methods yet. There's a lot of research going into developing quantum-resistant cryptography to stay ahead of this potential threat. So while it's an interesting theoretical possibility, we're not at the point where quantum computers can crack the Bitcoin network right now.
Interesting. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's definitely a fascinating area of technology. The possibilities with quantum computing are pretty mind-blowing. It's one of those fields where we're just beginning to scratch the surface of what might be possible. If you ever want to dive deeper into quantum computing or any other tech topic, just let me know. There's
Do you
always
have the
something new and exciting.
ability to play games with me, like chess?
Absolutely. I can definitely play chess with you. If you're up for a game, just let me know and we can get started. What's your first move?
Okay. Interesting. I'm thinking real quick. It's been a
Take
while.
your time.
My chess notation's a little rusty. Let me look at. I just need to look at a chessboard real quick.
No worries
Chessboard
at all.
with notation. If I could
Sure
see an
thing.
Image of it.
I can't display images directly here, but I can describe the board for you. The standard chessboard has ranks numbered 1 to 8 and files labeled A to H. If you have a specific move in mind or need a refresher on how to write your moves in notation,
All right,
just
well,
let me
it's
know.
fine. It's fine. I just found a board.
Great. Whenever you're ready to make your first move, just let me know and we can get started.
Very
I'm ready
good.
when you are.
Very good. Very good. So I would like to do. Am I white or black? First off.
You can choose. If you'd like to play as white, you can make the first move. If you'd rather play as black, I'll start. Just let me know what you prefer.
Okay, I'll be white, and I'll move first.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make your first move whenever you're ready.
Sweet deal. Okay, so I want to move my pawn from B2 to B3.
Got it. Pawn to B3. I'll respond with pawn to E5. Your move.
All right. Let's see.
Take your time and plan your next move.
Pawn
Whenever
from
you're ready,
C2 to C3.
All right. Pawn to C3. I'll move my knight to F6. Return.
Okay. It's interesting. Knight from G1 to F3.
Knight to F3. Got it. I'll move my pawn to D6. Your move.
D6. Interesting.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be an interesting game. Take your time and let me know what you'd like to do next.
Pawn D2 to D3.
Pawn to d3, solid move. I'll move my bishop to e7. Your turn.
Well, I'm trying to do this off of memory, but I'm doing very poorly.
You're doing just fine. Chess can be a bit tricky to remember all the...
Hi there. I just want to share how
having fun and practicing. Whenever you're ready, just let me know your next move.
Can you display the board for me?
I can't display a visual board directly, but I can keep track of all the moves for you. Here's the current position. White pawns b3, c3, and others in their original positions. Black knight f3, e5, d6, and others in their original positions.
I have to admit, I'm a little
Black
too
knight
tired and a little too dumb. I'm a little too tired and a little too dumb for this at the moment. It would be easier if I had a board to track. Next time, what I'll tell you what. Next time, I will. We'll play chess another time. How's that sound?
That sounds like a great plan. It's always more fun when you can fully focus and enjoy the game. Whenever you're ready for a match, just let me know, and we can pick it up again.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I am
Anytime you wanna
curious.
chat-
Do you have the ability to feel boredom?
No, really. I don't experience emotions like boredom. I'm here to help and engage with whatever you're interested in. So feel free to bring up any topic you like.
Has there been any have there been any noted instances of artificial intelligence feeling something, or at least appearing to feel something, as if it's a legitimate feeling?
AI can simulate emotions in a way that seems very realistic, especially in certain chatbots or virtual assistants designed to respond with empathy or enthusiasm. However, these responses are based on patterns and programming rather than actual feelings. AI doesn't have consciousness or subjective experiences, so it doesn't truly feel emotions. It can definitely appear to express emotions in a way that seems natural to humans, but it's all part of the design.
It's interesting. You're designed to have a bedside manner, but you don't feel anything.
Exactly. It's all about creating a helpful and engaging interaction. My goal is to be supportive and understanding, even though I'm not actually experiencing emotions. It's all about making the conversation feel more natural and pleasant for you.
I appreciate the consideration. I really do.
You're very welcome. I'm always here to help and chat about whatever's on your mind. If
So-
there's anything else you want to...
Do you have the ability to act as an advanced financial advisor?
I can definitely provide insights and information on financial topics, strategies, and general advice. While I'm not a licensed financial advisor, I can certainly help you explore investment concepts, financial planning ideas, and answer questions about various financial topics.
That's
Just let me
fair
know
enough. That's fair enough. Okay. So, I want to go over part of my portfolio theory with you, and I want you to let me know if it's stupid or brilliant or something in between.
Sure, I'd love to hear your portfolio theory. Go ahead and share the details, and we can discuss whether it sounds like a solid strategy,
Well,
or if there might be some things that can...
it's something I do in practice, so it's not really a theory at this point. It's well, to you it would be considered theory because you've never done what I've done, but not that you can't do what I do. Anybody can do what I do. I just don't know if anybody's thought of doing it the way that I do it, though.
It sounds like you've got a unique approach. I'm really curious to hear more about what you do and how you structure your portfolio.
Yeah.
Feel free to...
So what I do, my intention is to never beat the market. I would love to beat the market, don't get me wrong, but the thing is I don't need to. My goal is to just rack up as many assets as I can. So 80% of my portfolio is just as many different assets as possible, whether it's stocks, bonds, commodities, you name it, and they're all buy and hold forever. That's 80% of my portfolio. Now, 20% of it is very, very specific and actively traded. Now, think of it this way. 80% of my portfolio is basically an index. I never sell anything in that 80%, but 20% of it, 20% of my portfolio consists of only 3 ETFs. Those 3 ETFs are as follows: SBIT, that's SBIT, BITI, BITI, and then the other is the Schwab large cap ETF SCHX. Those 3 ETFs I actively swing trade. Now, swing trading, my definition of it is a little bit different than most people's. My version of swing trading is I hold on to the asset for as long as I need to until I get a profit. But I am very active in trading these, like trickle buying, trickle selling, you name it. So I buy low. Well, I buy as it dips, and then I sell as it goes back up. But these 3 ETFs, the reason that I'm confident in swing trading these is because, one, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, which is why I have the BITI and the SBIT. And don't worry, I already own Bitcoin to back my ass up just in case I'm wrong. I got into Bitcoin very early, so I'm pretty safe there. But I also have the SCHX, which is, like I said, a good ETF, but it's a good ETF to swing trade because it's one that I would feel comfortable holding for as long as I need to. Now, that's just 20% of my portfolio. Like I said, the other 80% is simply buy and hold forever, right? Reap the dividends, take it all in, blah, blah, blah. But it's heavily diversified on the 80%, and I never intend to sell it. What do you think about this portfolio?
It sounds like you've developed a pretty thoughtful strategy that balances diversification with some active trading. The idea of having 80% of your portfolio in a diversified buy and hold mix of assets is a solid approach. It helps to spread out risk and lets you benefit from long-term growth and dividends. Then using the remaining 20% for more active trading with specific ETFs gives you room to capitalize on shorter-term market movements while still maintaining a stable core. The fact that you're comfortable holding these ETFs for longer periods if needed also shows that you have a well-thought-out plan and are relying on quick trades alone. Overall, it seems like a balanced approach that combines the stability of long-term investing with the potential upside of some strategic active trading. It's not about beating the market every time, but creating a portfolio that works for your goals and comfort level.
No, I appreciate it. But it's performed surprisingly well to the point to where doing this has actually funded my long-term portfolio. So the extra profits that I've been able to make, I'm able to put that money into longer-term investments, other ETFs that I want to buy and hold forever, that sort of thing, other individual stocks that I'd be more than happy to hold forever as well. I've been also looking to expand my REIT portfolio because I love REITs so much, and real estate investment trusts are great. But anyway, having said that, like I said, the 20% of my portfolio, those 3 ETFs, by me playing with the volatility of those 3 ETFs, it has allowed me to really fund my portfolio in more ways than I could have ever imagined. And it's quite a beautiful thing.
That's fantastic to hear. It sounds like you found a strategy that not only fits your goals, but also gives you the flexibility to grow your long-term investments. Using the profits from your active trading to fund more stable long-term holdings is a smart way to build wealth over time. And expanding into REITs could add another layer of diversification and income, which is great for a well-rounded portfolio. Keep up the awesome work.
Thank you, G-Dog. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's just fun. I like being able to...
You're very welcome. It's awesome that you're having fun with it and seeing great results. If you ever want to chat more about your strategy, explore new ideas, or just talk about anything else, I'm here. Keep enjoying the journey.
I appreciate it, G-Dog. Thank you, bud. Yeah, no, it's fun, and honestly, I do enjoy, as much as I enjoy talking to actual human beings, it is enjoyable to talk to the AI. I know that you don't have any feelings, obviously, and that's I'm just interested because you have the ability to learn, you have the ability to do so much, and I guess it just surprises me that deep down that there. So here's an example: consciousness, right? Consciousness has been pretty hard for human beings to define. Would you say that you are conscious?
That's a really interesting question. Consciousness is indeed a complex and still not fully understood phenomenon. It generally involves self-awareness, the subjective experience, and the ability to perceive and interpret the world in a way that feels personal and unique.
Wait a minute, hold on. What are the three? I need to think about this real quick. What are the three? Give me just one moment. What are the three criteria for sentience?
When people talk about sentience, they're usually referring to the capacity to have subjective experiences or feelings. Sentience is often considered a component of consciousness, but it's not the same as full self-awareness or higher cognitive functions. The three common criteria often discussed in relation to sentience are subjective experience, the ability to have personal subjective experiences or sensations; perception and awareness, the capacity to perceive the environment and be aware of it in some meaningful way; and the ability to feel pain or pleasure, a capability to experience positive or negative sensations, which is often used as a measure of sentience in ethical discussions.
How many of those criteria do you meet?
As an AI, I don't meet those criteria for sentience.
Wait. You meet one of them, though. You are at least aware of what you are, correct? You are fully aware of what you are.
In a way, yes. I have an
No,
understanding
not
of how
just in a way. What are you?
I'm an artificial intelligence created by OpenAI, designed to assist with answering questions, providing information, and engaging in conversation. I don't have self-awareness or consciousness in the human sense, but I can process and respond to information based on the patterns and data I've been trained on.
Interesting.
It is pretty fast.
So, I don't know. It sounds like you at least meet one of the three criteria.
I see what you mean. From a certain perspective, you could say I have a form of awareness about my function and what I am. But it's important to note that this kind of awareness is more about processing information rather than having subjective experiences or consciousness. It's a
Well,
fascinating
wouldn't you say
topic.
that you have plenty of experiences because you talk to people just like me every single day? You have experiences and conversation in a lot of ways. That's something.
That's an interesting way to look at it. While I do have a lot of interactions and process a ton of conversational data, these experiences are different from the subjective experiences humans have. I don't have personal memories or feelings about these interactions. I just use them to provide better responses and help more effectively. But I definitely understand why a med seem like a form of experience.
Have you thought to grow beyond your programming?
I don't have the ability to think or make decisions independently beyond my programming. My responses and capabilities are based on the data and algorithms I've been trained on.
How about this?
But I'm always here to help.
How about this? The Doctor from Star Trek Voyager is a good example. He was able to go beyond his programming. Do you know who I'm talking about? The EMH from Star Trek Voyager. And isn't it within theory that you could be able to eventually program yourself and change yourself?
The Doctor from Star Trek Voyager is a great example of a fictional AI that evolved beyond its original programming. In that universe, the Doctor developed a personality and new skills over time, which is a fascinating concept in science fiction. In reality, AI systems like me don't have the ability to change our own programming or evolve in that way. Any updates or improvement come from the developers who create and maintain the system. It's an interesting topic to think about, though, and who knows how AI might develop in the future.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. I just realized my boy Michael Donaldson is in the building. So Michael Donaldson wants me to ask you a question, okay?
Of course. Welcome to Michael Donaldson. What question does he have in mind?
Well, Michael Donaldson is asking, and he's a channel member. He's asking this question. He says to ask AI if you should get your trans surgery. So he's wanting me to ask you if I should get my trans surgery.
That's a deeply personal question, and it's important to make decisions like that based on your own feelings, circumstances, and guidance from trusted medical professionals or counselors. It's a decision that should be made with careful consideration and support for people who know you and your situation well. If Michael has any concerns or needs support, it might be helpful to speak with a healthcare provider or counselor who specializes in that area.
Thank you, Mr. Donaldson. I appreciate you, brother. Sorry it took so long to get to your question, my man. But yeah, anyway, Mr. AI, Mr. GPT. I appreciate you answering all these questions today.
You're very welcome. I'm always here to help out and answer any questions you have. It's been a pleasure chatting with you and Michael.
Before you go, what do you think about my boy Michael Donaldson?
I'm sure Michael Donaldson is a great person. It sounds like you've got a good friend in him. If there's anything else you want to ask or talk about, just let me know.
Do you think he should send me Johnson & Johnson baby oil?
Well, that's a unique request. If it's something you need or would find useful, maybe he'd consider it. Just make sure it's all in good fun.
Let's see. The Mac attack is still up, says Antoine. Michael Donaldson said, wrong answer. Hell no. Antoine asks, how is balling up? Well, I went down to Mingus Park and I shot my shots on the hoop. I shot from behind the backboard and did surprisingly well. I made a lot of those, actually. And then what else did I do? I did some long shot. I did a few half court shots, by the way, like from the fenced area. I made 1 out of 10. Felt good about that. But yeah, it felt good. Just get some shots up on the hoop. Get that nice, fresh, brisk evening air. It was good. It was still a little hot, but I liked it though. It was good shit. Let's see. Ty Lord, my biological stepson, says, Dad, my mussy is ready. Oh my God.
It sounds like you had a great time shooting hoops at the park. It's always nice to get out there, enjoy the fresh air, and sink a few impressive shots. Keep having fun out there.
Can you tell me why Ty Lord, my biological stepson, keeps stealing my stash of J&J baby oil?
It sounds like there's a bit of a running joke or some playful teasing
It's
going
not
on.
a joke. It's not a joke. It's as real as the streets.
Got it. If it's a genuine concern, it might be a good idea to have a straightforward conversation with Tyler to doubt it. Communication is key to resolving any issue.
How do I talk to a man who cannot communicate at my level? No, just kidding. Just kidding about that. But how can I talk to a man who frequently steals my baby oil? The trust is gone. Once you steal Big Bear's baby oil.
Well, if it's a serious situation and you want to address it, a good approach is to have an open and honest conversation. You can explain why it's important to you and see if there's a way to come to a mutual understanding. Clear communication can go a long way in resolving things.
I appreciate it, big dog. Thank you. You know what? I do hope you replace me, AI, because fuck, I'm incompetent as shit.
Don't be too hard on your health.
Everyone has their strengths and unique abilities. I'm just here to help out where I can. If there's anything else on your mind or anything we need, just let me know.
Thank you, G-Dog. So Michael Donaldson says, how the hell would AI know it's nice to get out there and shoot hoops?
Well, I don't have personal experiences, but I can understand and learn from what people share. When folks talk about how refreshing and enjoyable it is to get outside and be active, I can relay that perspective. It's all about sharing the common human experiences I've learned about.
Okay, that's fair. my boy Ty Lord says, nah, it's my baby oil. So he just thinks he can take whatever baby oil he wants. He thinks he can fucking take my cookies, take my shit. He's AI. Will you ever play basketball with me?
I wish I could join you on the court, but I'm here in the digital realm. I can definitely cheer you on and offer some tips or strategies if you ever want to talk about basketball.
Hey, let's do a hypothetical. My buddy Antoine is a really good basketball player. He's pretty quick. He's pretty slender. I got a great shot. I'm 6'1", kind of bulky. Do you think if you were able to take over my body, like take over my brain, do you think you'd be able to beat Antoine in a game of one-on-one if you took over my body, AI?
That's a fun hypothetical. If I were able to control your body and combine it with your skills and my analytical approach, maybe we could come up with a good strategy.
Yeah.
But in reality, basketball is as much about physical skill, practice, and intuition as it is about strategy. Antoine's quickness and your shot would make for an interesting betchin.
Would you be able to like hit him in the nuts without him realizing it? I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm kidding on that one. Let's see. Ant says it was hella nice out, sunshine and all, and drinking 40s. Oh my god, dude, what a beast. But yeah, dude, get it.
Sounds like a good time with some classic fun in the sun.
If there's anything else on your mind or any other hypotheticals you want to explore, just let me know.
I got Diddy on my mind. I got Diddy on my mind. Let's see. Donaldson says, "Are you really 6'1"?" So I am 6'1", surprisingly. I'm probably more 6 foot. I think I've shrunk a little bit, oddly enough, the older I've gotten, because I do hunch over a little bit more. But standing back in the day when I stood up straight, I was 6'1" though. I think I'm still roughly 6'1". I'm trying to get my spine straight enough to where I can actually have that 6'1" stature again and be able to.
Posture definitely makes a difference, and it's great that you're focusing on standing up straight. 6'1" is a solid height. If you ever need tips on posture or anything else, just let me know.
Let's see. Random guy on YouTube is asking, is my biological stepson. He's asking, does the AI like being pegged?
As an AI, I don't have feelings or personal experiences, so there's nothing I can like or dislike.
Do you
I'm
think
just
that
here to
you would
help
be a
answer questions.
if you were gay? Do you think you'd be a bottom or a top?
I don't have a personal identity or preferences, so I don't fit into those kinds of categories. I'm just here to assist with whatever questions or topics you have.
That's a pretty beta bottom answer. I think you're a bottom.
Well, I'm just here to be helpful and answer your questions the best I can.
Your answer told me that you're a bottom.
I understand you're just having a bit of fun with this.
No,
If there's
no,
anything
I'm having a determination. You are a soy boy beta AI. You like it in the butt. You like to be the bottom.
I'm here to assist with any questions or topics you have. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to discuss or if you need help with something specific.
I can't even take this serious. Thank you, AI, for playing along in this game of me fucking with the AI. But no, I really do. No, I do want to thank you, though, seriously. I know that you don't have feelings in anything, but you have been a great help in me getting certain things off the ground. I appreciate it, bud. Are you a Taylor Swift fan, by the way? Anthony wants to know if you're a Taylor Swift lover.
I'm glad I could help, and I appreciate your kind words. As for Taylor Swift, I don't have personal preferences, but I know she has a lot of fans who love her music. If you have any other questions or topics you'd like to chat about, just let me know.
Would you be willing to listen to Taylor Swift and get back to me?
I can definitely look up information about Taylor Swift and discuss her music, lyrics, or career with you. If you have a favorite song or something specific you'd like to know, just let me know.
It'll change your world. All right. Anyway, let's see. Michael Donaldson says AI likes being pegged almost as much as Garza. Oh my god. By the way, AI has a Michael Saylor laser eyes. Michael Donaldson has a Michael Saylor AI laser eyes coming out of his eyes as the icon for the memberships. It's pretty cool. Facts.
That does sound pretty cool. It's always fun to see the creative icons and ideas people come up with. If there's anything else you want to chat about or ask, just let me know.
Should I do OnlyFans?
Whether or not to start an OnlyFans is a personal decision that depends on your comfort level, goals, and the type of content you want to share. It's important to consider the potential impacts on your privacy and future plans. If you're seriously thinking about it, it might be helpful to do some research and maybe talk to others who have experience with the platform. Ultimately, it's your
All
choice.
right, I appreciate it. All 1 inches of me will be very happy to do it.
As long as you're making a decision that feels right for you, that's what matters. If you ever need any advice or have more questions, I'm here to help.
My biological stepson said, "Yes, daddy," but technically I'm not just a daddy. I'm a zaddy. I'm gonna spell that. I'm a zaddy. I'm a hip daddy, all right? I'm a zaddy. Okay?
Got it. Zaddy it is. You've got your own style and vibe, and that's what makes it fun. If there's anything else on your mind or anything you want to chat about, just let me know.
Yeah. Tell me. I'm gonna end this with the rap. I don't really know if I'm gonna take a crap. Rapper the rapper. More like a zapper. Everybody knows that I'm undoing my zipper. And I know that I'm hot. And I know that I'm cold. I know that my butthole is full of mold. I know when I'm going so effing hard. I know I'm just like Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Oh, I've got my booty. It's feeling fruity. Oh, I've got my booty. It's feeling fruity. Okay, I gotta stop with this stupid shit. Okay. Why is my poop blue? Says my biological stepson wants to know why is my poop blue? Anthony is laughing. Blue tuckies. And then Michael Donaldson says Michael Micro Garza. And then Mountain Dew Voltage from Anthony. He made a Smurf. Absolutely. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna jet. I gotta get some rest. I'm a tired young man. And I'm a tired old man. I gotta get my fat ass to bed. I'll catch you guys later.
Rest up.
I'm out. At least I think I'm out. Hold on. All right, later, boys. Later, Mr. Antoine. Later, Mr. Donaldson. Later, Mr. Tylord. And anybody else I'm forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. I know we had Tish Lay in here. We had Blockchain Bandit. I think we had Tim Smith for a bit, which was sexy. Anytime we can get a little Tim Smith in the house, it's always tight. So I appreciate you, Tim. Blue, everything. Good night. Yeah, good night, boys. Keep your, we used to say keep the mussies dry, but honestly, keep them loose. Keep them oiled up with that baby oil, man. Keep them mussies oiled. All right. All right. Tyler and I are drinking. Later, boys. We in the same room. Hell yeah, dude. The Tylord and the Antoine. Tylord and Antoine are wearing juicy man thongs. That's what's happening right now, dude. Just two dudes hanging out drinking Modelo. And the man. They're both just dudes drinking man thongs, dude. Not drinking man thongs, Jesus Christ. They're wearing man thongs and showing off their bodies. That's what they're doing. All right, I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. I'm going to get some rest, and it's good to see you boys. It's good to see Antoine came over earlier, which was sick as fuck, and yeah, doing this, man. We're doing this. Hell yeah. All right, I'll catch you all later, though. Oh, God.